Okay, hi there, I'm Cheese and you're on my channel at Pasta Studio, as usual. And I wanted to make this quick little speech band video special for New Year because it's also a new decade. Last time I made a 2018 animation reel, but because of this year I was focused on fair fantasy and drawing illustrations to it rather than animating. I'm not sure if there's a point of making an animation reel for this year because there was not a lot of animations. So here's this little art with all freaks. I've animated through all this time, starting from my first beat and finishing the upcoming Careless episode 3. First of all, here goes Frisks from that legendary Battle Scar animation, which hit 2.5 million views, and it's still the main money source for my channel. Back then, I was focused on animating in the same style Glitchtale had, and in case you didn't notice, back then Glitchtale Frisk was not this sexy boy with red eyes. Please stop with Frisks, they are outdated. He was this little kid with too much yellowish skin he got from first season. I do feel kinda cringy about that animation because I do this exact day receive comments saying such things and it's kinda hilarious to read. I'm still glad that my first animation to this channel was this successful, and as I did already mention, I wanna reanimate this video someday. Now, going to the next Frisk, the one from the reanimated Glitchverse, I remember how much I was excited to watch that original fight, and back in my head I was rethinking every single frame, how would I redo it with proper effects and in my style. So I did redo it and I actually enjoyed the process. I was kinda hating on myself because I had to animate Careless, but I just wanted to do this too, and I actually finished this animation like 2 weeks. That was happens when Jesus had inspired Fox. People's reaction was kinda not the one I expected. They hated on Frisk nose because it looked like grandpa's, and this hit me hard because I just came out of that horse nose dog pit and I was actually proud of those noses, but at least now it looks better. I kinda understand the hate though. Also, I just realized that only my Glitchtale related animation does not have those atmosphere gradient shadows like in Careless or so. Careless episode 1 Frisk. That chubby boy was funny to draw. It's not the first Careless Frisk we got here, but it's the one we deserved. I used a lot of black shadows, like literally. I copy-pasted 25% black twice on different layers and was kinda erased some light parts on one of these, and the other one I erased only for highlights. So this Frisk is super shady boy, but still. Also, the colors of this Frisk are hella bad. I lost the first color palette I used and I tried to create the new one, which ended up not very good. 50% black layers were kinda fixing the situation, but not really. Also, Careless episode 1 is like the mix-up of my 2017 and 2018 skills, and the Frisk from the beginning of animation does not look the same way as the last scene's Frisk look like. I know my bad, but that's what happened when you spend a year in animation. Now, Careless episode 2 Frisk look way more different from the previous one. Their eyes are red, I finally stopped using black shadows and used pen tool to create shadows on the character. I mean, I used gradients on their cheeks and nose to make them look gorgeous. This Frisk is one of my most favorite Frisks, but they looked way much more emotional and smiley. They do not look like being careless, and it freaked out me too much. So maybe episode 2 Frisk is a cute waifu, but their design was not making its purpose, so I had to rethink things a little and start working on new designs for everyone. And that's where Careless episode 3 Frisks come in and steals our hearts. The kid is literally the representation of depression, carelessness, or whatever Frisk has on their mind. Fantasy style helps me to use line art for more purpose as a line art, and making this greyish line art helped creating such a lifeless, emotionless character that you just have to look at them to realize how much they're tired of everything. Same bank calls or the palette only continued the effect, and it's just looks like it has to be the perfect Careless Frisk has joined the chat, and I'm proud of that so much. Now there's the last Frisk we all have forgotten, the one we chucked out and threw away in garbage, the original kid from this series who was deleted by me. Okay, actually it was Adapt Fresh who killed them, because the program suddenly decided it really would be a fun thing to crash the entire animation file ahead. The first episode of Careless was carelessly corrupted, and I had no success to the files, to the frames, or to the anything at all. This Frisk style is not really different from the Frisk we all got in the final art, but the color palette is lighter, their sweater is fluffy and bigger, and I used only one, not two, 25% opacity black layers. Oh yeah, and I used the horse's nose style for this. Here go all the Frisks I've ever drawn, I've ever animated. Some of these are cringe to watch, some of these we never really deserve to have, but all of them are parts of history of this little animation rage channel on YouTube. We grew up with these kids, I grew up with these kids in style, in skills, in pretty much everything, so let's everyone thank these children for being with us. See you in the next decade, folks, and as always, stay determined.